57-57.
Clubs are so evenly matched.
Back to Smith. Alexander wanted it and gets it. Here he's calling for a clear out.
Yep.
Here he is on the baseline working against Childress. Left hand, yes!
Sensational drive by Corey Alexander. Boy, he just turns that shoulder on you when he puts that ball on the floor.
Timeout with 1:13 to go. We've had 10 lead changes, 7 ties, and the largest lead by either team has been 8. Evenly matched, you bet. We'll have the conclusion right after this.
I had a lot of great times here at Wake Forest, but by far the most rewarding experience I've ever had was working in the Sanders Helpers program. Everybody looks forward to this day because you know this is one day that they'll forget. As you get older, you tend to take Christmas for granted. You know, it's just another day, but to see the look in those kids' eyes when you bring them those presents or two, it shows you what Christmas is all about. It puts a smile on my face.
You know, when you're young and you have strong legs and lots of wind, you think you can play forever.
Wow, was that you?
But the game ends all too soon. And if you aren't ready for life's game, you could be facing a bleak future. Hey, do yourself a favor, kids. Stay in school, use your library, and read.
Obviously, I don't play the game anymore, but due to my education, I talk a pretty good one.
Tim, we've talked all day about Corey Alexander's ability to put the ball on the floor and turn that shoulder as he goes around. Now watch him get right on the inside and then explodes to the basket. Beautiful layup. Childress has made a valiant effort. Now here's Rodney Rogers wide open and doesn't get the ball. And then what happened right here is a little bit of impatience, wanting to get the ball to Trelawney Owens. A turnover. Rogers in the second half, 9 points, 15 on the game. And Alexander, 13 points. They have been the mainstays from a scoring standpoint.
Alexander, 13 points in this half. Possession arrow belongs to Wake Forest. That could be critical. You see the fouls and the timeouts remaining. Both have 2.
Still a lot of time. You know, you get this close a game, everybody wants to go ahead and make the big play every time they touch the ball. It's key now when you've got like Owens on the inside, Rogers on the inside, Jeffries out of the game. If you Wake Forest, take your time to get a good shot down inside. Have a tendency to want to make too quick a play. A lot of time. 28 seconds still left.
58 seconds left in the game. Here's Rogers on the baseline, fouled by Smith. He does draw a crowd.
Yeah, and Burrow thought, wait a second, I'm doing a pretty good job guarding Rogers who put the ball on the floor. One of the things we don't see him do that often, but he's certainly capable of, is driving by somebody with the dribble.
Rogers 5 for 7 at the line this afternoon. Trying to tie the game.
We talked about Virginia's lack of free throw shooting. Now it's haunting Wake Forest.
This is the first end of a 1-on-1. Still trailed by 2. This is Alexander.
Stopped on a dime that time.
Game clock at 37, shot clock at 27.
Second team all-conference player and certainly deserving.
30 seconds left in the game. And Virginia calls a timeout.
9-second differential on the shot clock and game clock. So Wake Forest will get the ball back again.
Billy, let's talk strategy. You're down by 2, 27 seconds left defensively here with 18 on the shot clock. What are you doing?
Well, if you're just Wake Forest, you want to just play solid basketball right here. Now, when they call this timeout, they're playing a man-to-man defense. I think if you're Wake Forest right now, you might even want to go back to the zone just to have something different for him to think about, because you know Jeff Jones is over there diagramming a play. Plus, I don't want to have, if I'm Wake Forest, Corey Alexander with the ball in his hands the last 8 seconds or so to go one-on-one, because he's going to be able to penetrate and more than likely either get a shot off or get fouled. So I think if I'm Wake Forest, I want to let them show me they can beat me from the perimeter at this point, because you know you have one more chance to get the ball back.
You would say Rodney Rogers with 4 personals is a moot point now with 27 seconds left. But the way these two clubs play, I'm not going to say that, because we could have overtime here.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to go out and foul if you're Wake Forest. I mean, you want to make them earn the shot here with somebody other than Corey Alexander taking it. Even a box-and-one situation, you know, something different.
Something just to give him a different look coming out of the timeout.
I mean, the young man's got 20 of the 59 points scored by Virginia today. The one thing you say coming out of that Wake Forest huddle is under no circumstances does Corey Alexander score on this play.
Virginia has 1 timeout left. Wake has 2.
And Wake comes out straight man-to-man aggressively. So in our huddle, we didn't do it this way.
13 on the shot clock, and Williford gets tied up and has to call the final timeout for Virginia. That's it. They're out of them.
Now, not what you want if you're Jeff Jones. You'd certainly like to have one saved at the end.
Wake Forest still has 2 remaining. And with 11 now on the shot clock, defensively, you got to be feeling pretty good.
Well, you have the same situation, though, because right now what Virginia wanted to do was to get down there to 6 to 8 seconds, take as much time off as possible. So basically all that's happened since the last time out is you've gotten rid of one of Virginia's and their last time out, and you put the ball in a situation where Virginia's going to want to have Corey Alexander touch it and make something happen here at the end.
First game of the quarterfinals here at the ACC Tournament, the 40th annual, the Charlotte Coliseum is jammed. 23,532 here. The number 4 and 5 seeds, Wake Forest the 4th seed, Virginia number 5, and this game has been everything we anticipated.
Well, these guys have played, Tim, 119 minutes and 40 seconds and 2 points, and all that separates them for the whole year.
Demon Deacons have lost their ACC tournament opener 5 straight years. That's hanging over their heads.
And of course, for Virginia, you go back 17 years ago, they won their one and only ACC championship. Wally Walker and crowd, they shot 58% for the tournament that year in the 3 games.
And of course,
3-rated team.
Your great years, Billy, back in the 60s. Wake appeared in championship game 5 straight years, won 2 of them.
Right.
Here we go. 11 seconds on the shot clock, 21 on the game clock.
Now they've got to get it inbounds here. No timeouts to call. Trying to find Alexander.
5 on the shot clock.
They're not going to get off a shot. Oh, what a big foul. What a big foul.
Can you believe it?
Not a smart play.
Childress picks up his 4th. But they had made the defensive stop.
Exactly. They had to have a feel that 11 seconds was not that long a time. Don't foul here. Don't go for the ball. Just go ahead and try to contain the dribbler.
Now Dave Odom takes a timeout. He has 1 left. And there are 13 seconds remaining in the ball game.
No question that it was a foul, Tim, but that's where players have to understand. You get that thing down within 4 or 5 seconds. All you want to do is contain the dribbler. Make him take a bad shot, because in effect, the clock is going to create a turnover for you. Williford
will be making his first trip to the free throw line today, shooting 1-and-1. This has been a game of streaks. Wake Forest went 9 minutes without a field goal earlier in this half, and Virginia took its largest lead. Now the Deacs' last field goal was at 6:08. A 3-pointer by Childress, so they're struggling once again, but down 2 with 13 seconds left. And in league play, Williford this year is 17 for 21 from the line, the best free throw shooter by far at Virginia, shooting 78% overall for the year. But he hasn't shot any shots with this kind of pressure on him, Tim. Virginia has lost 3 straight games to Wake Forest. Going back to last year, and UVA has not lost 4 straight to Wake since way back in 1970. You know, Tim, you mentioned about it, and I don't certainly like to dwell on anything that I was personally involved in, but you talked about back in the 60s. It's interesting to see how the waves of coaches have taken place in this league. You know, Everett Case, really the foundation upon which everything is built in this league, had the great run at North Carolina State. Then McGuire followed him at North Carolina. Then Bones McKinney at Wake Forest. Then Vic Bubas at Duke. Then Norm Sloan came into state
And the one guy that almost transpires the whole thing is a guy coming up the next game, Dean Smith. Here you have Mike Krzyzewski making his run. Jimmy Valvano made his run. Lefty made a run. Boom, and there's a run.
Williford makes it a 3-point game with 13 seconds left.
He said, percentage-wise, the best free throw shooter Virginia has.
Misses the second one.
Got to go for 3. 2 doesn't help you. Here's Rogers out here.
Childress, his shot is short. Rebound, Virginia. And it'll be the Cavaliers' ball with 5 seconds left.
Boy, Rogers was wide open at the top of the key. And here's the case. They have no timeouts left. Get the ball inbounds.
They do. 3 seconds. They've got a foul.
And they waited too long.
They did. The foul with 1 second left. This game's over.
Well, the only solace for Wake Forest is the fact that they are going to the NCAA tournament. This may have cost them, however, one of those top 16 seeds.
1 second left. Smith goes to the line. Virginia will go to 19-8. Wake Forest will end its ACC tournament right here with a record of 19-8.
And, Tim, if you're Virginia, you're doing the wise thing here. Put nobody down in that lane. I'm really surprised that Burroughs is going down there. The only thing can go wrong for you here is the foul on the miss. So I don't know why Burroughs is standing down in that lane.
1/10 of a second remaining in the game. Smith drills it.
Now, all he has to do here is hit that rim. I mean, this game's over. You cannot win it with a 5-point play.
Smith's first point.
And Burroughs is told to get off of that lane.
1/10 of a second. There's not much anybody can do here.
Well, the sweep is no more. Wake Forest wins 2 in regular season, drops the key one here in the tournament.
So Virginia moves on. Wake Forest packs up. Paul Cameron and Billy Packer will be back with post-game interviews right after this from Schick.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor should adjust to your face, which is exactly why we designed the Schick Tracer. The Schick Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex to the unique shape of your face. So the Tracer gets in close for a clean, comfortable shave. And since you can't change your face, maybe you should change your razor. Schick. We're changing the face of shaving.
Bring home the ball, Daryl.
Well, it's all come down to this one last play. You know it's going to Down Jenkins. He's double team, whole team. The only thing between him and the basket is his big ugly brother, Wesley. He gives him the old shake and bake. He looks at the clock. 3 seconds, 2, 1. He leaps. He shoots. He was fouled.
A reminder from Pizza Hut that it's also important to stop and dream.
Today's ACC action has been brought to you by Budweiser, NationsBank, Ford, USAir, Pepsi, and by the Jefferson Pilot Life Insurance Company.
Once again, our final score. The Virginia Cavaliers move on to the semifinals of the ACC tournament with a 61-57 win over Wake Forest. Billy Packer will be back and talk with the coach right after this. Stay with us.
Flying the red-eye. Lousy movie. Rough landing. Lost luggage. Long walk to airport parking. On-ramp to highway. Suddenly, traveling's not so bad.
USAir reservations, how can I help you?
Hi, who are you?
2 to Washington, please.
After you.
Yours, sir.
Thanks.
You're traveling light?
Did you have fun flying?
Yeah.
You enjoy your flight with USAir?
Thank you for flying on USAir.
You'll hear one word again and again from the people of USAir.
What's better for you?
For one very good reason.
Everything we do.
go to gate 10.
Thank you very much.
When some folks think of San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge comes to mind. But for me, it's that great taste of sourdough bread.
Now Hardee's introduces Frisco grilled chicken on sourdough bread. Tender whole grilled chicken breast, crisp bacon, plump juicy tomatoes and Swiss cheese, all on grilled sourdough bread. The new Hardee's Frisco grilled chicken sandwich. And in the morning, enjoy a delicious Hardee's Frisco breakfast sandwich.
That's a taste worth coming back for.
Are you ready for some real food? Hardee.
When she's ready for college, will you have a plan to fit her needs? Make it happen with the strength and stability of Jefferson Pilot, Insurance and Financial Services.
Cavaliers of Virginia move on with a 61-57 win over Wake Forest here this afternoon in Charlotte. The NationsBank players of the game: Corey Alexander for the Cavaliers, 20 points, 6 assists. And for the Deacons of Wake Forest, Rodney Rogers, 15 points and 6 rebounds. Let's take you out courtside now, and here's Billy Packer.
Thanks an awful lot, and of course, Jeff, congratulations on the blowout victory. I mean, a 4-point lead for you guys against Wake has got to seem like 20 points.
Well, it really does, and I think when we got it up to 8 at that one point, that might have been the biggest lead that we've had on Wake Forest in a couple of years. So
it is amazing how well you two match up from a standpoint of your personnel, and the fact that maybe one little ingredient on either side would make it much more different. And we were talking about that earlier. Maybe another scorer on your standpoint, or maybe Wake Forest having an offensive center would change things a little bit. Did you approach this game any differently, knowing how you matched up?
Not really. We felt like it was going to be this kind of game. There's no reason for this to be any different than the games in the last several years. So we felt it was going to be a real struggle, and we just needed to hang in there. We've had some opportunities in the two losses to Wake Forest this year. Didn't take advantage of them, and fortunately we hung in there. And Doug Smith's big three, that really seemed to be the one bucket that we needed to get us over the hump.
One of the things I thought really was going to cost you when Ted Jeffries went out. He came into this game very focused today. I thought early on, got a little frustrated because he was working so hard and things weren't falling his way. Then when he got in that foul trouble and eventually had to sit down, did it give you a great concern?
Well, it did. We were worried because they were going inside to Rodney a lot, and we didn't want to play a whole lot of zone because we didn't want Childress to get started. So we just tried to hold things together, and then the last couple minutes we went with a lineup that we haven't played, I don't think, a possession all year. A very small lineup with Jason Williford, Cornell Parker, Junior Burrow, Doug Smith, and Corey Alexander all in there, and we were small, but we scrapped and came up with enough rebounds in order to win the game.
Well, Corey, of course, with 20 points today, which is a lot of points when you take in consideration the low-scoring ball game. I thought he was very patient today, realizing that there was a lot on his shoulders, particularly with Jeffries out of there. I thought he had an outstanding game for your club. What do you think?
Well, he really did. I think he got frustrated because he got some good looks at the basket and couldn't quite get the ball to go down. But he stayed within his game. He didn't allow himself to really force anything. And I think that's probably the biggest thing we've seen from last year to this year is his maturity and his ability to just keep focused.
Now, we talked about Rodney Rogers and the matchup situation there at halftime, and I'd like to know what you said at halftime to your team. We felt that Wake Forest must be saying in their locker room, hey, Rodney's only got 6 points. He's not getting enough touches on the ball. Let's go to him. They tried to do that in the second half. Your defense was great. He ended up in the second half only 2 for 9. What were you fellas thinking about at halftime about him?
Well, it was really 2 concerns. One was obviously Rodney because he's just such a great player, and he can hurt you in so many ways. We wanted to try to, as much as we could, to keep the ball out of his hands, but he's so good, you can't really front him in the low post. So we were trying to devise ways to help down off of either Charles Harrison or Derek Hicks when the ball did go in the low post. And we did that with some success. And with Randolph, I just think Corey, he did an outstanding job on Randolph.
Well, congratulations. I'll let you get in there and celebrate a little bit. Guys, back up to you.
All right, so the Cavaliers move on. 19th win of the year, 61-57 the final. Virginia over Wake Forest. And we'll be back after a word from our good friends at Bud Light.
What'll it be, fellas?
Make it a Bud Light.
Sorry. This is the last one.
Well, I think I've been... I can take that one.
What do you want to give for it? I'm a 2 and a 10. Give me 10, a 20 big. Give me 20 now, 30. Give me 30 now, 40 big. Give me 40 now, 50. Give me 50 now, 60 big. Give me 60 now, 70. Give me 70 now, 80.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Bud Light, please.
Sorry, boys. This is the last one.
In Greensboro, North Carolina, a remodeled kitchen turned into the McLaren's new family room. In Norfolk, Virginia, a new minivan made the halls a little more popular with their friends. And in Washington, D.C., an additional room allowed Mark Gonzalez to put his father in the best possible home, his own. NationsBank loan specialists have helped over 2 million people with loans for home improvements, loan refinancing, and car loans. Come see how NationsBank can give you the power to make a difference in your life.
Ford trucks, the best, never rest.
You're right. Ford does build in toughness. But we also build in things that help you drive safely. Four-wheel anti-lock brakes are standard on Explorer and Bronco.
Built-in child seats are available on Aerostar, and both Aerostar and Club Wagon offer driver's side airbags. Ford builds tough trucks, but we also build long-term relationships.
The best-built, best-selling American trucks are built Ford tough.
Shopping at Food Lion is like putting money in the bank. Our prices are extra low every day of the week, so every trip to Food Lion makes your savings grow. Every time you buy high-quality products like Contadina tomato sauce and tomato paste at Food Lion's extra low prices, you add to your savings. The more you shop at Food Lion, the more your savings grow. Try Food Lion. You get extra low prices that add up to extra big savings.
When Frank McGuire and his North Carolina Tar Heels defeated the University of Kansas in 1957 to capture the ACC's first national championship, the whole country took notice. Shortly after Dr. James Naismith invented the game in 1891, basketball took root, and by 1893 was being played in YMCAs throughout the South. In Charlotte, North Carolina, that growth was sparked by Frederick C. Abbott and Frank Mahan, who witnessed Naismith's first game in Springfield, Massachusetts. Mahan, a North Carolina native, is credited with naming the activity basketball. Competition in the South spread as YMCAs and colleges pitted their talented squads in heated regional and cross-state matchups. Women participated in basketball with enthusiasm, despite periodic objections to their play and the complications of female attire. A Southern writer noted in 1893 that basketball has come to stay. An understatement by any means. A moment of Southern history brought to you by the Museum of the New South.
Wake Forest has not won an ACC tournament game since 1987, 6 years, the longest in school history. It is Virginia that gets them today, 61-57 to move on. And now Virginia will wait the winner of the North Carolina-Maryland game.
And, Tim, this could have some repercussions in regard to the NCAA tournament bids. Not that both of those teams won't get in the tournament, but I really thought, as I said during the game, that Wake Forest had a chance to be one of the top 16 seeds. They may still get it because of their regular season performance. But Virginia rated very highly. They may slide in there and knock them out.
Billy, take a look at the final statistics of the game we just saw. Rodney Rogers really had a slow first half. They came back, and look at Deacons shot 37% for the game.
Well, Virginia, the best field goal percentage defense in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and picking up right where they left off in regular season, holding Wake Forest down under 40%. A great job by Virginia defensively.
61-57, the final. Virginia moves on. Right now, let's take you over to Paul Cameron. Paul?
Okay, Dave, you talk about two good defensive clubs, but it was Virginia's defensive lockout of Wake Forest over the final 3 minutes and 39 seconds when Blucas hit the two free throws to give Wake Forest a 57-53 lead, up by 4. They would not score again as Virginia really put the vice clamp down in the remaining 3:39 as they would score. Virginia would score the final 8 points of the game. Corey Alexander, 13 points in the second half, 20 for the game, as you have already outlined. And Wake Forest goes 0 for 4 in this building in ACC tournaments. You know, one of the big controversies throughout this game, not the play of the guys on the floor, but the nets here in the Charlotte Coliseum look like they put a little bit too much starch in them. Brand new nets, very stiff. They kept flipping back over on themselves. So what have they done here between games? Look at this. A little net massaging right here. It goes right through. Comes through the other side. None of this peach basket stuff. They changed out the nets, so we'll see how they do in the second game coming up. North Carolina and Maryland, number 1 and number 8 seeds about to take the floor in just a few minutes from right now. We're live at the Charlotte Coliseum, and between games on this Friday, quarterfinals at the 1993 40th Annual Atlantic Coast Conference Basketball Tournament. Once again, here's Tim. But we'll be right back with Tim and Billy as we get set to bring you the second game in the quarterfinals, and we will do that after this from your local ACC stations.
How do you order Miller Genuine Draft Light? The cold filtered light with smooth draft taste at a rock and roll club?
Hey, give me a GD Light.
Say GD Light and say no more. How do you order a Miller Genuine Draft Light, a cold filtered light with smooth draft taste, in a bar that's having a slow night? That's okay. We'll tell you. Say GD Light and say no more.
Ford Ranger, the #1 selling compact, just got better. This 93's got a brand new exterior, a brand new interior, and no pickup beats it for gas mileage. This XLT model comes loaded with air, AM/FM stereo cassette, sliding rear window, anti-lock brakes, and plenty more. And now with $500 cash back, it can save you over $2,000 in the factory, or choose 5/9 financing. Comparably equipped, Ranger's priced almost $2,000 less than a Toyota. Remember, $500 or 5/9 financing on selected Rangers at your Carolina Ford dealer.
A lot happens in your day, but what happened in the rest of the world? Get reconnected. First, with WRAL's 5 o'clock First News. First coverage of important stories.
It could have killed a number of people that apparently didn't care. The majority of the people could have been saved.
They arrested me for murders I didn't do. Stories you won't get anywhere else. Charlie Gaddy and Pam Salisbury reconnect you to the world first on WRAL's 5 o'clock First News.
1:30, 3:30, 1:30, 3:30.
The games continue. Coverage of the semifinals starts tomorrow at 1:30. Show up in front of your TV set with your game face on, because the ACC Tournament is serious business. And the Big Five is your ACC station.
Bill Leslie and Renee McCoy. Weekday mornings at 6.
So a mild upset in Game 1 on this Friday afternoon. The number 5 seed Virginia Cavaliers knock off number 4 Wake Forest 61-57. Good afternoon.